Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Nantes, France. We're in the Nantes Metropole, and it's the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament. Argentina taking on Turkey. Well, we watched Argentina already in Group B. This is our first look here at this Turkish team, and as most people would expect, anyway, coming into this, Turkey would be the favorites in Group B, but Argentina had an impressive performance against Cameroon yesterday. Earlier today, we watched a real thriller, Nigeria getting a late Kalu three-pointer to beat Korea. Just 4 seconds remaining. We just watched Spain pull away from China. Later tonight, we'll see France and New Zealand. So, look at the teams that have already qualified for the Olympics. Senegal, Canada, Japan, Serbia, Australia. USA qualified as the world champions. Brazil are the host nation. Which 5 teams coming out of the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament here in Nantes are going to join them? Well, it's day 2, and as you can imagine, the Turkish fans are starting to show up in numbers. I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by the erstwhile Mark Clark. It's the third game of the day, Mark, and you know, if Argentina had the type of performance that we saw yesterday, you know, this is going to be an interesting game. Look at the standings. Obviously, we talked about the win yesterday over Cameroon, so this is the first look at Turkey.
Well, Jeff, I've been looking forward to this game since the draw was made, because you've got both countries who have a style, have a real technical way of playing the game, and both coaches are real masters of their art. So they're going to be looking at each other, trying to work out how to take away the best options. You saw yesterday with Argentina, with Melissa Gritter at the point. These guys ran some beautiful half-court stuff. They ran the floor well. They got off to a really marvelous start. They have a real nice flow to the way they play. There's a lot of interesting half-court sets. They run well in transition. And the last few years, we've talked about Turkey in the same types of way. They run very controlled. They have great sets. They have real strength in each position. And the only difference you can really highlight is that Turkey have Laura Sanders, and she is just out of the top draw. And it's going to be intriguing to see what's the solution that Argentina come up in terms of trying to take her out of her game. The other intriguing matchup is that backcourt matchup, because Greta looked quality. You know, All-Star 5 at last year's FIBA Americas. She announced herself to the world really at this tournament 4 years ago as a young player coming in. But this team had a really nice way of playing, and she orchestrates. Turkey is so strong in the backcourt with Madali and Albin. And that's going to be a real ask for her. But I think she's ready for that now. 4 years ago in Turkey itself, she wasn't ready. Now she's ready. It's going to be an intriguing matchup. We're going to see basketball at a real technical high level. This could be a real intriguing one.
Well, you know, you mentioned that Turkey hosted the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament in 2012 in Ankara. They claimed one of the spots. They won their quarterfinal, and they made it to London and got to the quarterfinals there, and really came within a whisker of making it to the semifinals. And a lot of people think they probably should have. So another possibility, another chance for these teams. And certainly Argentina's women hoping to move into that elite status of international basketball by making it to the Olympics. We're going to have the playing of the national anthems now for both teams. So the national anthems have been played. That was the beautiful national anthem of Argentina there, wasn't it? Don't think we got the full version yesterday, and they are shaking hands and greeting Turkey's players. So we'll get a look at the rosters here for both of these teams, but I think we both agreed that Argentina seemed to have turned it up a notch from their preparations when they weren't really getting that many wins. And I guess maybe in the preparations, even the South American Women's Championship, it wasn't quite as vital. Here are the referees from Brazil, Serbia, and India. Andrea Silva, Yasmina Yoris, and Snehal Benke, and all women refereeing crew. And Turkey will be the first roster that we look at. You know, there's talk that maybe Turkey in the lower ranks aren't quite as talented coming up, so that's why you see the likes of Nevri Yilmaz perhaps still coming back.
You know, I think that's maybe a little harsh for some people to get into that, because we saw them in 2009, 2011. They were really announcing themselves, and they got the national team at the top level. And some of these players came through that system. And it takes a while to develop that depth that, you know, come through every single year. But when you've got this pinnacle of a team that roster is, that's a real inspiration to players. And this lineup here with Sanders and Yilmaz on the inside, yeah, Yilmaz is at the end of her career. But this team is being used in some ways as a spark to bring people through, and it's doing that particularly well. And the back court on this lineup is experienced. It's fun to watch. And they play at the highest level you can play at. And they're just a great team to watch from a pure basketball perspective.
Now, I think for the wider audience and internationally, the Argentinians are perhaps less, or perhaps more anonymous. But the evidence was there yesterday that this is a team that can come out and make some plays. Ornelia Santana, number 5. Andrea Boquete, number 8. She plays a lot of minutes. Borani coming off the bench, number 10. Greter out of the top drawer, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of point guards. Yeah. And Vega, you know, Stephanie Thomas as well, who started so well the other day. It was crucial for them against Cameroon for Thomas to come out and knock down some jump shots. And
you're quite right to say a lot of these guys largely play their basketball in Argentina or in Brazil, so they're out there. The Women's EuroLeague in Europe gets an enormous amount of coverage. If you're in Korea, that gets an enormous amount of coverage for those types of teams. And it's there's quality, there's a basketball education in this roster. And with these sorts of matchups, Sanders showed, I think for me anyway, showed last year at Eurobasket, 16-8. She just did a tremendous job carrying a team that was struggling to score and brought them close to getting into medals games. And Gretzer's just, for me now, one of the up-and-coming world-leading guards. And the whole country can really smart. And then I'm sure that coach has talked about a lot about how to deal with her.
Well, and the big question really, or a big point to be made, is the Ekram Memnum.
Yeah.
After last year's Eurobasket women stepped down, Coach Galatasaray, then he left and he's come back to coach. Whereas Christian Santander has been at the helm of this Argentina women's side now for a while, and you know, they look the typical Argentinian type of tactic, you know, very high IQ type basketball. It's actually really a match of tremendous basketball philosophy.
This is going to be a real IQ game, and you look at the statistics from various tournaments over the last couple of years, and their statistics are really close. They both shot the same type of field goal percentages, score in the 60s when it really comes down to key games, and it's like level. So have Argentina made that step from 4 years ago to compete at the level of Turkey? If they have, it's going to be a fascinating IQ game of basketball. That's the best way to describe it. For me, though, Jeff, Sanders could be the real X factor in the game. They have to stop her some way.
It was fascinating watching Memnum in practice, really running up and down the court, shouting instructions at his players. It was almost as if he was in the game. It was incredible. Anyway, well, good evening, everyone. If you're just joining us, it's Argentina-Turkey, the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament, and the world-class Laura Sanders, in my opinion anyway, tips it back, wins that opening tip for Turkey. And she is, I like those Turkish uniforms as well. I like that little bit of white that they put up at the top of the jersey. So well done on the design. Here's Yilmaz, comes out, and the veteran misses, and another veteran grabs the rebound. Vega.
Yeah, Vega's good. Vega has to be productive. I think Vega needs to get into double figures for Argentina. Really, really good for mid-range, and they need to get her going.
Well, Stephanie Thomas gets on the floor, tries to get it back, and ends up getting it back. Now there's 5 on the shot clock, and Vega fumbles it away. So inauspicious start here for Argentina. Riley Dimmerman. And another open 3 for Yilmaz. Now Gretter, who is just terrific to watch. Gets it to Rosé. Back out to Vega. Turkey will have watched Thomas hit those jumpers. So they're going to be on top of her. Now Vega gets into no woman's land, but manages to get it back and still misses.
Yeah, straight away you can see both coaches defensively have come up with their own sort of strategy. Argentina just not allowing the pick and roll type stuff to happen.
Here's the question that you asked. And can anybody stop Sanders?
Well, they can't play a one-on-one. I don't think they can play a one-on-one down there. They've got to have a front that, look for some weak side help. They play a one-on-one, 8 feet from the bucket. Sanders is really going to get a bucket load of points.
That was a nice move from Rosé, but for the second time in a row, Turkey missed right at the rack. Ishel Albin drives in, manages to get it back. Now, Argentinians are complaining that she traveled.
Well, she went up and came down with it. So they're absolutely right.
Vega. And the missed shot back into the hands of Ishel Albin. Kind of a mismatch here. Shalar being guarded by Thomas. I don't know, what do you think about that defense being called a foul?
Well, I don't think that unless they're going to try and make a point of keeping it clean, I think that's a little out of step with the rest of the game so far in terms of how to play defense in the block. The intriguing thing for me, Jeff, is the way that Argentina have decided to gap the majority of this lineup and ask them to make jump shots.
Shalar missed, but Ishel Albin just came right in and took it away from Vega, and Vega cannot allow that to happen. Sanders turns, puts it up and in. That's automatic.
Yeah, it's one-on-one again. But they're literally gapping it on the perimeter. They're saying you've got to make jump shots, and at the moment, Turkey is not great from deep. So you can see again, that's the solution that Argentina have come up with.
Vega spins, gets loose, back outside to Gretter, steps in, open jump shot. Well, so far, you could almost say it's Laura Sanders 4, Argentina nothing, because she's the difference in the game. Of course, defensively, she's not doing it all on her own.
And it's not, Argentina aren't saying that no one on the Turkish lineup can shoot the basketball, but Yilmaz from mid-range is just an automatic score. So they're asking her to shoot the 3. She doesn't shoot as great a percentage. It's about a chess match. It's about deciding how you want to decide to run the game, and they've done a really nice job. They just need to tick this score over, maybe settle them down offensively. They look a little tentative.
And another one stays out. So nearly 4 minutes gone, and Argentina have yet to score. And Sanders goes right down the lane. The ball was knocked out of her hands by Santana. And I think it's going to be Vega.
Yeah, they call Vega for the reaching foul. And they said that Sanders was in the act of shooting, which she was. And the other thing when you're playing against Turkey, they don't really, unless they have some options in initial transition, they don't look to shoot the 3 early. So by gapping it, you can manage the points, but you've got to do something different against Sanders and just let her play one-on-one.
Vega goes baseline again. This time puts it up and in.
That's an intriguing matchup for me, Yilmaz and Vega. Very similar type of player. Both have great mid-range game, and they're deceptively quick.
Now Shalar with a size advantage, backing up her defender. Now Vidarli gets inside. Gets it to Sanders. Automatic. Why don't we just change her name to Automatic? Because she's scored all 8 points for Turkey.
It's like Sanders scores.
Just push the button.
Just Sanders scores. Sanders had it, Sanders scores.
Yeah.
I think she's a handful for this Argentinian team.
Thomas catches it. Rudder. Thomas has it back now. Traveling, called by the Serbian ref.
They can't get frustrated, Argentina. They were good just a little bit. They've got to increase a little tempo to move this Turkish defense a little bit more than they currently have. It's a little bit slow and pedestrian. That's better defense on Sanders as well. They bumped her hard on the cut.
Ishmael Albin gets in, passes it back out. That's what they do. Sanders doesn't score.
That's the one you write in the book.
And Greta is fouled by Shalar.
That's one of those, we don't like the way this is looking. The pace of this penetration in transition is too quick. We're not ready. Let's foul it and get on the sideline.
Sometimes they're appealing for an unsportsmanlike there, but
we don't like the foul. We've made that clear, and everything else is just, have to stop the break. As long as you don't do it in an unbasketball way, it's just unfortunately part of the game.
Shebnem Kimakoglu into the game. And the pass goes off the hands of Sanders. So Gioglu, rather, comes in for a substitution. Ball goes out of bounds, timeout on the floor.
Yeah, I don't think Argentina have huge problems that they wouldn't have been aware of when it comes to trying to guard Lauren Sanders. But offensively, they've just got to be a little sharper. That move that Vega made, quick catch, rip through, and attacked it. And yesterday they got a lot out of penetration kick. So Kusheda and a number of other players got their feet set. They haven't got into that tempo offensively because Turkey is just containing them. So I think they can't panic. They can't get they can't start forcing. They don't have the players to do that. It's not a major problem. Turkey have only scored 8 points. Sorry, Sanders has scored 8 points. So it's not as if like that Turkey are running down the floor and ripping it up on the break. So this is a manageable from the other end. They've just got to get into some type of rhythm offensively. And maybe to get Greta's got to try and hit her own shots a little bit more than she's currently looking to do. And even the other option, getting Thomas with that matchup with Vidali, maybe going inside little post ups.
Another miss. And the Dolly gentleman inside, and Sanders puts it up. Sanders chirping away, saying, "You called traveling on my player. Where is the travel there?"
It was exactly the same move. Jeff, they're going to bring Gonzalez and Barani. And Barani might be a factor today. She's got a little bit more quickness that might be more of a handful for Turkey defensively.
Yeah, they were taking shots they don't want to take right now. That was Vega missing. Again, Sanders, and this time she was blocked, but a foul called by the Brazilian referee.
And that's why initially in the game they were showing away from the screen, and that's half the reason why they wanted to do that is they wanted to take that pick and roll option with Sanders out of the game. So initially they're showing away. Now they've allowed them to use the pick and roll. So if I was picking my poison on that one, I'd take them away from the screen.
I mean, she has got all 11 points right now for Turkey.
And it's all 12 points on a very good Turkish team. It's again, but you said it's a very a thinking man's game in terms of this particular matchup. And the thought is that I don't think they think she can't be guarded, so why not?
Gonzalez misses. And Shalar called for the offensive foul, trying to post up Gonzalez.
Well, I haven't seen the replay. Again, I said the replay. That might be one of those instances where the taller player gets penalized just for being tall, as in the height that they're making the move just ends up looking like it's clearing out.
So his pass goes out of bounds. The coach says, I wanted you to shoot it.
And they're almost second-guessing themselves now. The ball, penetration kick, the ball gets stuck, so they have to try and break the defense down again. And Turkey's defense at the moment is just stifling what Argentina want to do.
Shalar on the baseline, and finally somebody other than Laura Saunders scores for Turkey. Gonzalez takes the hit, goes down. Darley over to Shalar for the long jump shot. Vega with the board. Well, the bright side for Argentina is you've still got 3 quarters and a minute and 45 seconds to go. You got plenty of time, but look, it's been a long stretch without a basket. There's Vega. And she gets blocked by Saunders, who just does it at both ends.
And runs the floor. Now, the Turkey always, though, do give you that chance because they don't really push and get points quickly. They just accumulate points and foul call. But it's
foul on Gonzalez. And Ojai Shakur was fouled. So Vidali Dimmerman, Shalar come out. Janitez coming in, along with Ishal Alban. Ojai Shakur turns it over.
Argentina have got to be quick now. They've got to try and get things in transition, not necessarily initial options, but keep the ball moving, don't get it stuck. And keep trying to attack the defense.
And Captain Sandro Pavon passed it to Fiorotto. Now Gonzalez drifts into the lane. And boy, that rim just feels like it has a lid on it right now for Argentina.
And as soon as it hits anything, Saunders is just pulling anything. Her numbers for a quarter are going to be unbelievable. Points, rebounds, blocks. She will be selling. She'll sell hot dogs in the half-time break as well.
Shakur, that was a 2.
You can almost see the confidence that we saw in Argentina just visibly drain from this group in terms of tempo and everything as this quarter's just unfolded.
There's Burani.
Has that little bit of quickness we were talking about in terms of her coming in. She's got that little quicker release, quicker step. She's got to hang around now, try and get a little foothold in the game.
Ishal Alban goes in right at the end of the quarter just to rub salt into the wound. Makes it the running one-footed jumper. And it takes it up to an 18-4 lead after 1. Well, can't get any worse for Argentina.
Jeff, I didn't see 4-18. I didn't see that as a scoreline. Maybe I'd have favored Turkey coming into the game for 4 points. And it's not even just the 4 points. They have got many good looks. Greta's tried to force a couple. Gonzalez has tried to force a couple because they're just static. And again, it looks like it's that gap of level between the two teams in terms of Turkey. They're not the most athletic team in terms of this tournament. They're like, it's just their reading of the game is quicker. Their level is a bit quicker. They're able to get to passing lanes a bit quicker. Argentina have just been that little bit slower in every aspect. They're so long in the game that they can turn this around. They don't have to get back on level terms by the half. They get this down to 10 at the half, they'll be happy.
At some point, as they try to get back into this game, though, when Sanders is on the floor, they are going to have to figure out a way to kind of take her out of the offense.
Yeah, and I think, as we said, showing away from the screen takes her out of anything going to the basket because she has to pop them because the big will step and help on the penetration. And Sanders from 18 feet is not as effective as Sanders from 12 feet, 10 feet. They've got to like that. And if she's out the game, as she is at the start of this period, they've got to finally get some momentum and confidence. So they've got to believe in themselves right now. They get a good start to the second quarter, and they'll work their way back into the game.
So Buketti has it, puts up a jumper. I mean, this is a team right here where you think you have to get it moving in the right direction with Sanders on the bench. Janitez hands it off to Ushal-Alban. And she ends up taking a very difficult shot. And Buketti beats Janitez to the ball.
That's a better defensive series because they never got turned. They were always containing, kept everything in front, and Alban just had to throw up a prayer.
Fiorotto puts up the jumper. That's good. And right outside the free throw line.
Sometimes your rotation players have to get in there and start a little momentum, and that looks like what it's happened to start this second.
Shakur for three. Barani taps it over to Pavon. She had a good position.
Great box out for Barani. And you were excited about it yesterday. She really has brought a little bit more athleticism and pace to this Argentinian lineup.
She's a little longer, a little quicker. And a foul by Turkey out on the perimeter. So it's on Yilmaz. Three-pointer. Ushal-Alban now brings it up. And she'll just hold. Janitez. And that's not what they can allow. Second, third opportunities. Ushal-Alban drives in, passes it to Janitez. And Shakur. Remember them saying you can't forget to all of his players, not necessarily Shakur because she got it too late. Got to be ready to put it up.
Well, Barani's sitting down, Jeff, and I like the idea of Vega coming back, but maybe leave Barani in there because if you look at the matchups that Turkey have, they would have a problem guarding Vega and Barani at the moment, more especially with Saunders out the game. So it's easy to sit here and have that sort of, but Barani had made a difference. It was really sparking and getting a little belief going.
Well, Sandra Pavon rims one in. You often see him rim out. Maybe that's a sign of things to come from the captain. They just need somebody to be positive.
Yep.
Shutting them out. Passes inside. And she was fouled by Fiorotto because Yilmaz is able to get just incredible position.
Without banging on about it too much, Barani had to stop that happening. She'd always had the right position. She was always that little half a step quicker, so didn't get sealed off very deep. And again, that first time that Turkey have actually turned the defense on that pass.
It could be. It won't be that long before she gets back out there. Barani. Shedman for three.
You said you can't get second, third, fourth type opportunities. If you're in that zone, you've got to take care of business on the boards. The zone offers the perimeter shot, but if you give the team this quality 3 or 4 goes, they're going to score.
Vega goes to work against Yilmaz. Passes it though into the hands of Vishal Alban. Some more perhaps manageable situation there, but all Yilmaz does is turn and shoot.
Well, there's that Yilmaz from 8-10 feet is just automatic. You can't play her like strength for strength. She's too smart. You've got to play a little bit quicker against Yilmaz.
The ball goes through the hands of Pavon, and now an unsportsmanlike foul has been called on Fiorotto.
That's the frustration as a coach when you know that it's just that Turkey are better at stopping the break than the sort of like, if you want more basic foul that you saw there. It's the same, exactly designed, same reason, just wasn't as good at doing it. It's very hard for officials, that one though. In fact, being an official is very hard.
Yes, it is. But I'm just almost stunned how quickly this has gotten out of hand for Turkey. After their showing last night. They never blew Cameroon out last night, though. And that did make me wonder. Because they got on top of them, but they weren't really able to land a hammer below. Shepard's just hit the 3. Now she's going to get inside. Now Yilmaz puts up a 3 and goes off Sanders.
I always thought this was going to be a real tough ask for Argentina, but they've had the whole of the tempo, the rhythm they had last night has just been taken away by the style of play that Turkey had, which is contain and trying to force people to take shots they don't want, and they do it as well as anybody.
You see Vega was being draped there.
Being held up, yeah. Shoot the ball.
Yep, she had the look. She just had it. She just didn't even attempt it.
And that's what Greta has to do. She's got to back herself in those situations.
Pass out of the reach of Sanders. Nice pass inside, but Santana takes it back out. Pavon goes in, is blocked by Sanders. Virgil Vidarli doesn't hesitate. And the timeout has come. They've tripled them. It's 27-9. Turkey right now have a stranglehold on this contest.
And that is exactly the way, you can sum it up. They have an absolute stranglehold on them. They just can't, and now get a second guessing herself. She got into the lane the last time, didn't even want to shoot it. Once Turkey starts getting rhythm against this defense, they are a good shooting team. But they had them missing shots. They gave them second and third opportunities. And, at some point, they're going to say, wait, we're down 20+ points. We've got to back yourself. Greta from 10 feet, there's got to be a better option than kicking it to Pavon to try and attack Sanders on a penetration. You know, Vega's got to find herself in the same way that Yilmaz does. Finds herself open mid-range. That's movement away from the ball because she's a good shooter from that range as well. And we haven't even seen any sign yet of Stephanie Thomas, who was so active yesterday at being quick and being in the flow. You know, the ball gets stuck and literally Turkey are just in control. And if this is, you know, a battle of the minds of basketball at the moment, the approach that Memnum's taken is clearly got the advantage for his team. And now he's in a player rotation, so he's able to keep the intensity high.
I think Sanders coming out and really establishing herself kind of took the pressure off her teammates because they're like, oh, we're up by 12, I'll take this jump shot. Makes it a lot easier. There's Rosé trying to make the pass, and Turkey had the hands up. Yilmaz turns. Sanders there for the offensive rebound, and looked like a double dribble.
It was a double dribble. And I think, to be fair, I think the official acknowledged it was too, which...
She said she didn't see it.
Yeah.
Well, Boquete knocks it away. Or Santana knocks it away. Now Ushel Albin for three. Sanders with another offensive rebound despite four Bianco Celeste shirts. Sanders at the line. And the long rebound again. And the jump ball possession error goes to Turkey. It's been that kind of night. Look at that. Sanders was the player that got her hand up there and forced that turnover. So another timeout.
See, for Argentina, is it an easier option to try and get back into this game, have a day off, get ready for the quarterfinal against like a team that's second, or is it like, well, we don't think we can get this, it's going to rotate, we'll just set ourselves up and hope we get there as the one win we got yesterday?
Well, they get the day off tomorrow anyway. So.
Yeah. And in some ways, they're going to cross over against a tough team finishing second. With the two-day break, I'd be more inclined to say, hey, let's go after it. Maybe extend, maybe try and get back in the game. Because, again, Turkey have still only scored 27 points. It's not as if they've racked up 40 and they're going to get to 50 by the half. 27 points, get 2 or 3 stops, keep it in a manageable number of the mid-30s. Get yourself towards 20, and you're not out of the game, but the body language at the moment, quite surprisingly for an Argentinian team, is almost a little bit resigned. This is when you need, this is when Vega needs to step up as one of the more senior players.
Well, they need a spark from somebody.
Someone.
Darley just looks off the defense, ends up getting it to Sanders.
I'm going to give her a benefit. I think she tried to float the pass. Give that as an assist. If you've got a friendly stats guy, that's an assist.
Oh yeah, I think that was an assist. Santana over to Rosé, knocks it down.
Just get some flow, get some rhythm, get some momentum, get down there and play defense, force a tough shot. You can't be stepping right off Yilmaz and making him make passes that should be easy. That's great work by Rosé after scoring. Gets in the passing lane, causes the turnover.
What I love is as we see Santander there, Memnum after that turnover just looked out and said, what was that? It's like, Ekram, lighten up. You're leading by 18. He just wants a perfect game. Here comes Greder. Rosé. Well, they're passing it a little bit better now, but a travel has been called on Santana. I think they're being a bit harsh.
I think they're being a little inconsistent as well, in the sense that little step through, it's exactly the type of, the move that comes on down here. Now, I'm not sure if it is or it isn't in terms of when the pivot foot gets taken up.
They pass it to Yilmaz, and he buries the jump shot.
Every Yilmaz from mid-range, that mid-range, she is, again, one of those players who's as good as anybody in the game. She doesn't miss mid-range. Three-point line seems to extend her and stretch her range, but from that distance.
Vega gets one to drop. 31-13. Got to chip away if you're Argentina here. Try to manage this deficit.
Yep. It's just a possession at a time. A stop and a score, stop and a score. Get it to a manageable number. It might not be until the fourth quarter you're right back in it, but just work your way in.
And how do you do that? Sanders, all she has to do is turn and take her tally to 16 points.
If you play behind her and you don't pressure and it goes in, she's going to shoot 60, 70% from there.
Thomas drives in and draws a foul. Former Clemson Tiger gets the foul on the former ACC opponent from North Carolina, Laura Sanders. Didn't see too much wrong there for Sanders.
And the worry, because you see Greta come out, that's the worry for me. That the player who really has a chance to lead this team and spark it is a little bit absent in the first 80 minutes. She's hardly taken a shot. She's not really been aggressive. And she's one of the players that if they are going to make the step from where they are to Turkey's level, she's one of the players that can, help that by her own performance and the way that she can facilitate others. And if that, if people think that's a little bit of pressure on it, well, that's what she needs to have at this level. You've got to have that belief and desire to play at that level.
I say, gets it back, draws the foul. I mentioned number 7 for Argentina, but Diana Cabrera in the game.
Well, Barani's back as well, which only 2 minutes to go, maybe a little overdue.
So Gomez is going to sit down perhaps for the rest of the first half. Tube Signorek has come into the game, number 15. They find Thomas. She had her feet set. And that's how it's gone.
And she had her feet set, but Dali was just on the move. As soon as the penetration happened and she's looking to pass, Dali's already on the move. When the ball's in the air, she's sprinting to that closeout.
Vidali and Thomas grabs the board. And Cabrera, her pass was telegraphed.
Well, Jeff, we're saying the other side of the floor, the furthest corner from the floor, but we might have been able to go and steal that because she never looked at the hoop. She was always just going to pass, and the Turkish defense is just so well drilled. They were after it before it was even released.
Oh, Gonzalez somehow got in to make a basket. Kind of squeezed her way in there. Turkey will play Cameroon tomorrow. They want to go into that game on a winning note. And shot clock violation.
Well, there's 1:03 to go. They've got one stop. They go down and score. They get into 17 or 18. They get another stop. They've got a chance to get to 19, 20 points. And if they can get those stops, they're down 13. And a little while ago, you'd have just bitten someone's hand off for a 13-point halftime margin. That gives them hope in the second half to get right back in it. But they've got to tick the scoreboard over.
It looks a bit awkward, like she traveled. So that was the call. Maybe dragged her left foot.
Yeah,
pivot.
But the offense that last time gave Barani and the rest of the team nothing, did it? It was one pass, dribble, stop. Wait for it, something to happen. One pass, dribble, stop. So then Barani has to make a play. And she's not a guy that makes plays. She's just one of those, she'll get on the glass, she'll be in the post, she'll do that. She's not going to break anyone down. And Gonzalez too, was to say she had to break down and make a tough shot. They're getting nothing out of what they run. And yesterday they ran some nice stuff. And it was quick and it was sharp. A different opponent, admittedly. Turkey's a much better opponent, but you've still got to try and get that tempo going.
Que avancen, nosotros no atrapamos, no hacemos nada. Lo hacemos para que pierdan un par de segundos con dos pases. Estamos con...
So really the story of the game has been Laura Sanders offensively, 16 of Turkey's 33 points, including 12 of their first points, or their first 12 points. And defensively, Turkey not allowing Argentina to run anything.
See, Argentina now still have 2 fouls to give. They can get try and make something happen for the next two before they get into the penalty. You expect them to try and make something happen here. Get another opportunity, get a stop, get something going into the half. A steal up with some pressure would really give them something to hang on to, but they're not even going after it now.
Offensive foul. Is that Sanders' second?
If it's Sanders, it's definitely a second. Yep. Is it Sanders? Yep. Yeah, that'll be two. So Sanders picks up a second foul. You come down, you score, and all of a sudden, sometimes you've got something to talk about in the locker room. It's not about, hey, we're struggling, let's try and get some pride or whatever. He's got a chance to think about getting back in the game.
Yeah, look at that replay. That looked like a good call.
Yep.
So Argentina, will they try to take some time off, or they just try to get a good shot? They're going to take a shot, and Gonzalez is going to get blocked. And Cabrera doesn't mess around. She puts it right up and in.
Great effort to stay with the play, because it's tough to rebound the air ball.
And Vidali's tough in these situations. She finds Sedgwick, and Borani comes away with the rebound. So, well, could get to 13, but they're down 33-17. Argentina trailing Turkey at halftime.
Well, those stats, if you're an Argentinian, are going to be like one of those nightmares scenarios, 30% and 25%. But the thing is, Turkey haven't blown them away. It's a 16-point margin, and Argentina can't play any worse. 11 assists for Turkey, and the thing that sums up how poor Argentina have been as a team, 1 assist. They just haven't created for each other at all. 10 turnovers doesn't help, and Turkey have turned it over 8. So, you know, it's very easy to say if they can move the ball more efficiently, they'll get better shots. But it's not a lot more complicated than that. And as we said right at the top of the game, the difference could be Sanders, and the difference is Sanders. 16 points, it's a 16-point margin. That's a little bit simplistic, but she is across every single stat line for Turkey. Steals, blocks, turnover, points, rebounds. You know, it makes life easy as a coach when you have that much talent at your disposal.
We'll stick around for the second half action. We'll be coming right back. Turkey on top of Argentina.
grand groupe Mance. Plus fort, on peut les applaudir extrêmement fort. Et ils vont nous divertir durant toute cette semaine du Take-Tour. Allez, en tant que ballon officiel de la FIBA, les tournois qualificatifs olympiques, Molten est fier de présenter son ballon édition 2016. Son design dynamique représente les mouvements et l'agilité des meilleurs joueurs de basket du monde. Rejoignez Molten et montrez votre soutien à votre équipe nationale alors qu'ils jouent à leur plus haut niveau avec intégrité et fair play. Pour en savoir plus, rendez-vous sur le site internet fiba.com et participez au concours pour gagner un ballon Molten édition spéciale. Maintenant, ça se passe sur le TV Cube grâce à nos partenaires internationaux de la FIBA. l'organisation olympique, eh bien, jeudi, ça sera repos pour les joueuses de staff et bien évidemment aussi les bénévoles. Et on attaquera vendredi, on vous donne dès à présent rendez-vous vendredi pour les quarts de finale avec une qualification directe pour Rio 2016 avec toujours 4 matchs à 12h30, à 15h, à 18h et 20h30.
We need to be more decisive.
33-17, Turkey on top of Argentina in Group B. One day after Argentina impressed against Cameroon, they've come into an experienced Turkish team that has really basically been on the broad shoulders of that player right there, Laura Sanders. Got 16 points, 9 rebounds. So she's going to walk away with a double-double tonight. That's pretty much guaranteed. Here's some of the damage that she's been able to do.
And we made the comment, Jeff, through the game that if you let her catch it deep and low, she's going to score. And it'd be interesting to see if Argentina make an adjustment, come up with a different way of trying to play Sanders in this second half. You've got to believe, you've got to think that they're down 16. If they can get it to 10 by the end of the third, they've got a chance to get back into this. And it's going to be a long, long road back. Because one of the great things about this Turkish team is they don't give you anything easy. They make you earn coming back. So I don't see them turning it over 7 or 8 times in the quarter. So you've got to get stops and scores and just work your way back in the game possession by possession.
You've got to rebound. You've got to take care of the glass. And there were numerous times when they did not do that.
Well, Barani's in the game at the start. I think that's a good move. I think that might give him a little bit of quickness.
Jose comes out, puts up a jumper at the beginning.
You would hope to get something a little bit better than that first time down. You've got 24 seconds in the half court.
Darley wide open, three-pointer.
Well, they got into a rotation issue in terms of in transition they picked up Sanders, and then Barani came over to try and help, and they just didn't recover quick enough. And then Darley, well, not just wide open, she was literally on her own.
Interesting that Gonzalez has started rather than Gretter, isn't it?
I think that tells you a lot about 12 minutes and only 3 shots, and the only other stat was as a turnover. Be interested to see what reaction they get out of Greta as well, because she has the talent.
Yilmaz wide open.
Well, if the option is to double down on Saunders, you can't leave Yilmaz that open, and you can't leave Vidali that open.
Certainly not from mid-range.
No.
And Barani not able to catch it.
And that's the difference. Yilmaz was quick, recognized, became help, and got there quickly and generated the turnover. And that's the difference between these two teams. The level, the execution, just the quickness and reaction.
Vidali gets inside, a foul called on Vega.
Well, Vega and everyone on this Argentinian team has got to understand Vega had her hands in, so the referee's going to protect the guard on that play. The answer's within the team in blue and white. It's not the officials, it's not anything else. They're going to execute themselves.
And another foul called down low on Argentina.
Pour la Turquie, numéro 10,
got to get in front if that's the way they've decided to play, communicate that, get some help from behind, and then if they do skip it, you've got to sprint, you've got to scramble.
Yilmaz over to Ishalaldin. Passes up to 3. Now gets it back to Yilmaz inside. And Saunders, incredibly, doesn't score. And it goes over to Argentina.
I'd like to see Argentina just be quicker in the half court, set better screens, just up the level and the intensity. Keep the ball moving. Don't get it stuck.
Vega, that's on line to short. She follows up the shot, puts it up. Well, everything is a struggle.
Well, the mid-range shot should be a gimme from that type of range. It is when Yilmaz shoots it, and the offensive rebound was a great rebound. Got to put it back.
Kete puts it up.
Well, Vega did a nice job to recover. It's, you're right, Jim. Brennan just lives every play. He's running that break. If he could have gone out and actually made Vidali go faster, he'd have done it. He literally was yelling for the breakthrough run quicker.
The ball taken away, and Turkey get it right back. And Argentina must get it right back. But you can understand the frustration from Christian Santander. That looked like a pretty good effort. And the three-pointer no good, Vega. And another turnover. Right back to Alban. She misses again. And Durrani finally gets it for Argentina.
Oh, they have to work hard for a stop, don't they? They gave Turkey 4 goes at that one.
They set on the baseline.
Alban is such an experience, and Vidali so much experience in the backcourt. They're going to make sure that this Turkish team just execute, get the shot the men wants them to get, and they get it off the screen. And so much time, they just knock down open shots.
Shebnem has looked good, the power forward.
She's had big impact coming in.
5 points. Ronnie takes the jumper. Can't trade baskets.
No, and again, Gonzalez had to make a great find because no one moved, whereas Turkey penetrate, everybody can see the ball.
And this time the ball goes off of Saunders and out of bounds. Go back over to Argentina.
Still no credit. It's, you're making a point about her performance in the first half. I think that point's been made. You get 19 down.
He tends to go with his point guard, though, pretty much. When you say about 5 or 6 minutes early on, then he brings him out. And Yilmaz just takes it away.
Vega's just not quite. Yilmaz-Vega matchup is just one way at the moment.
Yilmaz gets in, misses with the left hand, and Yilmaz comes in from behind, commits the foul.
The foul for Yilmaz, one of the few lights at the end of the tunnel, and they're very at the end of a very long tunnel at the moment. She's on 3, Sanders is on 2. But I don't see any attempt to try and be aggressive in that part of the game and try and draw fouls. There's almost a resignation about the Argentinian performance at the moment.
Well, it was a telegraph pass that she got away with.
Tiffany Okoglu is she's a nice asset, nice addition to this roster.
She is. You know, she's 33, but has been pretty anonymous with the national team setup.
Yep.
Gonzalez bounce pass. And Gonzalez commits the foul. So midway through the third quarter, it just isn't happening so far for Argentina.
And Jeff, I'm not sure where it can happen. There's no zip, there's no change defensively. There's not really a change offensively in terms of trying to have some different emphasis. So it's very much a bit deja vu at the moment.
Traveling on Albin.
Okay, they got a reverse the ball coming out of there. Albin had it on the wing, moved it, and the ball reversal was crying out because there was space on the far side of the floor.
Gisela anda a buscarla y cae. Así que vos tenés Steffi la salida para un pase a tiro o pase-pase. ¿Sí? Si te queda Steffi para tomar el tiro, lo buscamos. Si no, triangulamos para pasar al interior.
On this evidence, Mark, you'd have to say Argentina are going to do well if they could get into the final of, to fight for that
fifth place.
Because it's difficult to see them competing. You would assume that France would win that next game against New Zealand.
Well, on record, etc. Not trying to build that game up to something it might not become, but New Zealand's record in preparation was impressive at times.
Semi-impressive.
Semi-impressive. They had a big win against Spain. And they have a way of playing that might be interesting in terms of trying to make life difficult for France, but in all likelihood, it's going to go the way of this game. The favorite will probably come up with the win.
And Shalar knocks it out of bounds.
And it's one of that type of play just sums it up. The pass was going to be made, and Shalar is already on the move. You know, she's active. It's just the level.
Well, Gonzalez does a nice job getting in the lane, but Burani had a decent position, but she couldn't beat Sanders to the ball. Shalar now puts up a jumper. Pavon gets on the baseline. Ishmael Albin drives in, and she's good at that. Okay, so Gretter's finally going to come into the game. 3:45 remaining here in the third quarter.
I think we'll find a lot out about Melissa Gretter at this time. Up until now, the expectations have never been, enormous. It wasn't like you're expecting her to go and change a game. Now she's talking about her winning this game for them, but there's an expectation that she's got to react to this situation and take that next step as a player. Shoglu is, be mature at different rates, shall we say?
No, she's a good fit. She's in the team. She's in this team for a reason.
And you've got to credit, not necessarily just the coach, but the staff, the program, who go out and just, it's not about what you've done, it's what you're doing right now. And she's obviously developed a lot. Because she's, you've got people like Shezi Epiang on that bench who's been around for a long time on this program who would fill that spot. And it looks like there's a reason that people are in a certain pecking order with this team.
Et je revois l'équipe d'Argentine, les sorties du jeu numéro 13, 17 et 21, un retour de la numéro 7, Diana Carvajal de la numéro 11, Melissa Petra de la numéro 6, et Victoria
So the lead has ballooned to 24 points for Turkey. It's hard to believe, really, when you consider they had to really pull out all stops at the Eurobasket women to get here in that 5th place game against Russia. And that was a real classic. And maybe that toughened them up inside the Shalar.
Again, I don't understand the sticking with just forcing the use of the screen, because every time they've come off a pick and roll, they've ended up with a good shot.
Nice bounce pass. And Cabrera was fouled. So Cabrera goes to the line.
Lorente's in the game, Jeff, and the 20-year-old's been talked about as an up-and-coming player. He's seen her first action now, so maybe she can have an impact.
Both free throws go awry. 2:12 remaining here in the 3rd. Yeah, this would have been a game where I really would have anticipated being a lot closer.
No, I would have had Turkey winning a close game that they've had to play well in. Exactly. I think that we talked about it before, that Argentina would come out of a way of trying to stop Turkey. Turkey would have the same, who can execute best. And, 15, 20 over the whole course of the game, but it wouldn't happen as it has. But Turkey getting what they want.
Shakur for 3. And Saunders just takes that ball and says it's mine.
See, again, the need for them to rotate, because they can use the pick and roll, then gives them a rebound issue, then gives them a rotation issue with Sanders as she rolls to the hoop. And they've not been able to deal with that the whole game, but they're persisting with it. And credit for Turkey, they literally are just going to exploit it, and they keep doing that.
Well, it's been an MVP performance for her tonight. Her first 2 points here in the 2nd half, but the team kind of set the tone for Turkey tonight.
Well, in hindsight, she pretty much set the game up with those first 12 points. It's not been a game since then.
Llorente drives in.
She's one of the few players Jeff Llorente's been in Europe. She's been at in the Liga Femenina, and much talked about, but
haven't seen many minutes here.
No, and to an extent, waiting for it to sort of, if you want, develop and fulfill what people say about her.
Pavon ends up taking a very difficult shot. Well, it's a difficult one for Argentina. It's uncomfortable from our vantage point.
Yep.
We know that they can play a lot better. The good news is for them that they won yesterday against Cameroon.
And you can't see Cameroon beating this Turkey lineup, so they're going to be in those quarterfinal games, which they've got a chance still. Can they be this bad again? You would think not. And Turkey are one of the powerhouses of world basketball. They've been in the top 10 at the last major tournaments all the time.
Get it. Over to Llorente. And missed everything. You wonder how they'll recover from this type of beating,
That's.
Do you think that they'll be second guessing? Maybe we shouldn't be here with this type of performance.
Yeah, I think that's the most worrying thing when you get beat badly. Is if you get beat badly by a great team playing great and giving you real issues. I don't think Turkey would put Turkey in that bracket, as Slav makes the tough one to finish the period. It's to me, they have played at a lower level, and then you start to doubt yourself.
Yeah. So at the end of 3, it's 53-21. Turkey on top.
I mean, those numbers are just a horrendous reading, you know. 17% and 25%, we're talking Olympic qualifying tournament numbers, they're not at those levels. Absolute control of the glass, 37 to 22. So even the effort aspects of the game, yeah, you have Laura Sanders, but like that doesn't count for a 15 rebound advantage.
De atacar, es un
let's not
juego de
forget,
pases
Argentina
que
has a
hacían en
heritage
mini
in this
básquet,
game,
que suma de pases.
and this is not going to. This is
El
going to
básico para
hurt.
suma
Now,
de
again,
pase
answering
no
your question
sirve
of
para
how they're going to rebound from
Si no es
that.
para atacar,
It's when you've got that sort of heritage, this is going to hurt. You can go either way. You can try and bounce back and play with pride, or it just kills you. And I'm not sure how this team's going to react.
Well, especially because if things go as they should, you would expect them to play France.
And that could be another tough day at the office. And then when it comes down to games they might win in the semi-final and a final for the 5th place, they've been on the wrong end of 2 major disappointing games, if that's the way it goes. That's a hard ask. Now you can get, let's get up to play France. They play better. As long as they play better, they're going to have something positive to hang on to. If that's, again, that's, you know, there's a lot of ifs and buts.
You could potentially have China or Belarus or Nigeria.
Well, one of those two, China or Belarus, is going to be in there. Nigeria is going to be in there, probably.
And then you would expect probably, well, I don't know, after watching Cuba last night, their effort was...
well, even say New Zealand, if New Zealand are in there, like, all those teams have got one thing in common. All of them play amazingly hard. They're trying to break into the next level, and they play hard to get there. And so if Argentina are the team that are not in that place, yeah, could be a very long rest of the tournament. But then again, you should be saying, I want that opportunity. I want an Olympic qualifying option. So let's try and find a way to play.
Well, Ursula then steps up, hits another jump shot. Say drives down the lane. This is the layup. That's what makes it even more painful.
Well, and to an extent, it's a little bit similar to the problems China had in scoring against Spain. They can get to scenarios of getting penetrations, but they can never get away from the defense, never get an angle that makes it a high percentage shot.
Collision in the lane. Sidiarek is going to be called for the foul.
Yeah.
So Bretter's going to come out. She's been out there for 4 minutes. Vega misses from the top of the key.
Yeah, Vega's another player that's played in Europe in that Liga Femenina. And she struggled as well tonight. See, that's not a rebound where you've got like Laura Sanders or Yilmaz's rebound. That's just Albin outworking people.
Shakur just goes behind her back, drives in, scores with a layup.
Nice play. Got behind the back really well. No one helps. No one challenges. She gets an unopposed layup straight down the middle.
2 atrás, viejo. Hay una que rompe y 3 que mira. 3 que mira. ¿Cómo vamos a jugar así? La que rompe, si llegó hasta abajo al aro, la aplaudimos. Si no, no pasa más nada. No hay una que le genere correrse. A ver si tiene una descarga en el lado contrario.
Jeff, I don't think the answer's on the coaching ball.
No puede hacer el balón.
You can
Vamos a hacer 4
draw
puntos.
whatever play he wants to draw up.
4 puntos.
But, you know, Albin getting an offensive rebound and here going down the middle and laying it up. That's not on a coaching ball. That's somewhere mentally and just in terms of effort. And I'm one of those guys that I don't think you can turn effort on and off. You have a level you don't dip below. I'm making the comparison. China never gave Spain an easy time. even though Spain were playing superbly well, China's defense never, ever went soft. Their offense was always trying to run whatever they were trying to run. They were trying to get shots they wanted to get, but most importantly, they never, ever made it. Spain never had easy looks throughout the whole game. And we're not seeing that level of, I'm not dipping below that level. We're on the wrong end of a loss here, but we are going to play hard defense. You're not going to get easy looks. It's far too easy for Turkey the last couple of plays. This fourth quarter could be 8.5 minutes of torture for Argentinian fans in the crowd.
Well, we just saw Shakur go behind her back and dribble in for a layup. A little bit of razzle-dazzle, a little bit of showtime. And Paquete couldn't quite catch it.
I was almost going to say that was nice. There's a bit of movement, a bit of quickness on the cut, and then just mishandled and missed a layup. You know, turned down a layup opportunity. And he's given Argentina a hard time. Yeah, like Turkey are out the top draw, and they're well prepared for this. So you are playing against a very efficient, is the word that sums up Turkey. They're one of the most efficient teams in world basketball.
And Shebman puts up another jumper.
Wow.
Kunyakoglu. 62-21. Vega at the line. Santana knocks it up to Gonzalez. That doesn't look like it's going to go in, does it? There she gets it. And now she goes up and draws the foul on Shalar.
It's a resignation. Look of resignation on the face of most of these players. But yeah, Sioglu has had a perfect game. She hasn't missed from the field yet. She's like 4 from 4, 1 from 1, perfect from the line. You know, she's just.
She's been a nice addition.
Yeah, and you love to see people coming in. She has 4 rebounds. She has a couple of assists. She's blotted the copybook with 1 turnover. Wow, but you forgive her it. You know, it's a team of plus 37 when she's on the floor. So
and Santana stepped up, intercepted that pass. And Vega, quick release. A little bit of a run here for Argentina.
4 in a row, from 21 to 25.
Shalar wide open on the baseline, and she scores right at the shot clock buzzer. Shakur steals it. Ishal Albin, easy as you like, still ends up getting it back.
Well, the penetration was pretty to watch because Albin's really good in contained space, little space. She finds ways to get into holes. Nice soft finish, but then she outworks 3 defenders. That good camera work on the replay showing you that the Shalar jumper was way inside the buzzer. And it was Sioglu who found her again. You know, didn't panic, skipped the pass to the open player even though it was deep on the shot clock. Gonna like her at the 3. Added dimension for Turkey.
Yeah, they needed some quality. They needed somebody that can knock down the jumper. She's at the right place at the right time. And Albin puts it up. Jose. Albin reaches in, knocks it away, but Jose gets it back. And then to Vega. But they're trying to set up the press, but they forgot.
Yep.
5.5 minutes now remaining. And traveling to Colin Shalar.
Well, you can like the consistency. It's the same call. And to be fair to the Serbian officials, she was explaining it to the Argentinian players at halftime why she was calling it. So they might not agree with it, but they've got to understand it.
Thomas, and gets the shooter's roll. 64-29.
Well, we talked about Spain keeping their starters in and everything else because it's about getting qualification. Well, Vidali's back. It's pretty much the 1, 2, 3 of the 5 starters are back in the game, even though they're up by an enormous number.
Sudden picks up the foul.
A smart foul. She was outsized in the post, didn't like what she had, so take one for the team. You got fouls to give, put the ball on the sideline.
And we've seen Shazia Vegan. She's going to come in now, the veteran. And just wonder if Seb, I guess, gives the coach a more reliable player at that position.
Well, we always used to say about Yevgen, she would do that, knock down the open shot when she needed to. But maybe wasn't making enough, and he's found pretty much the carbon copy in terms of efficiency. And the team looked better for the way that 3-spot performed in this game.
Michelle Albin has the pass intercepted. Now, rare chance to run for Argentina. Pass to Thomas. She goes up and scores with the left hand. Well, Argentina need to finish this game strong to get some feel-good factor back.
Well, that's the only thing they have going for them at the moment in terms of trying to maybe win the fourth quarter, try and get some points in transition. They've got to play some defense, Jeff. That's just middle penetration. The back of the zone doesn't see the baseline cut. It's just some defense would help them.
Gonzalez tries to get it to Vega.
Vidali did a great job. She rotated on the pick and roll action and stayed in front.
Sashi Vegan misses. Redding's coming back. Three-pointer good. We'll say played a lot of minutes.
And to be fair, she's been one of the more active and productive on this Argentinian lineup.
And interesting mistake there from Michelle Albin, steps out of bounds.
She doesn't normally run out of space, but she's going to sit down, work done for the evening.
So timeout on the floor as you look at the replay of the shot from Rosé, Macarena Rosé. And Argentina get a chance to talk about how they want to finish what's been a blowout.
And Jeff, and I'm sure that it's going to be said in the Turkey timeout. Will probably pick up. His team have only stepped off that ever so slightly. And all of a sudden you can see that if you step off that slightly, Argentina are okay at the level. They've got points in transition. They've got a couple of stops, a couple of steals. And it's that the margins are so small at this level. And it only takes Turkey to relax one little bit, and Argentina look a little more comfortable. Vega gets up to 8 points. But that little margin is a big step if you're the team trying to make that step. So, in some ways, this is ongoing development and ongoing growth of program. They've got to look at this. Yes, they were better than they were 4 years ago, but they've still got a way to go to make the gap between them and where Turkey are at the moment.
Et on va continuer dans la même rythme, il va falloir applaudir tout le monde. Allez au rythme, ça va s'accélérer, ça s'appelle la locomotive. Plus fort. J'ai dit plus fort.
A lot of flag-waving French in this place right now, getting ready for the France New Zealand game, you can see a lot of French flags. Probably adds to the sting of the manner of this defeat for Argentina to have played in front of quite a few people here and had this type of outcome. There's Thomas. Puts up a 3. It's good.
Again, the defense a little softer, and Thomas had a little bit more time to get balanced, just a little bit more space. Because Argentina aren't bad basketball players. It's just the level they're playing at that's giving them the issue tonight.
Saunders goes at Burani. And Greta gets in there, fights for the rebound. Saunders somehow comes up with it. Some people just have the nose for the ball.
Absolutely.
14 rebounds for Saunders. Not a bad night's work at the office. 18-14. 26 minutes. Thomas gets inside, draws the foul.
It's almost the type of tempo and the way that Thomas played in the first few minutes against Cameroon the other night, in terms of she was making things happen, getting to the hoop. All of a sudden it's a different team because the intensity's gone out of the game. We've got 1:40 to go. Turkey just want to get out of the gym now. That's only the 4th shot that Greta has taken in the game. As always, Jeff, a number of Turkish fans have made the trip. A lot of Turkish flags alongside some of those French ones. They always add a bit of atmosphere.
Absolutely. The Darley misses. Ball goes back over now to Argentina. This game mercifully coming to an end for Argentina. We will now have a couple of days before they go up in all likelihood France, unless we see something special out of New Zealand the next couple of days. In fact, they'll have a few days to get ready. And Thomas sticking after it.
2 complete days of rest and a game day.
I don't know why they called the foul Thomas there. No. For hustling. What's this? I don't see that. Especially when you're getting beat by 29.
1:03 to go. Not that that should ever influence an official, but I didn't see Thomas actually foul, so to speak. She just competed for the basketball. I like the fact that Mendes not gone and rotated everybody in. He's kept the lineup out there that, rotation players are going to have to play with, so they can keep the same rhythm, keep the same efficiency as a team.
Shot clock violation.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy, is he, when it comes to things like that? He sat down because I think you might want to talk to him about it in the locker room after.
Look, he's a little frustrated over there. And Saunders gets another block. Mimman was telling us that having parted ways with Galatasaray, that he needs to do well with Turkey for his employment situation. So he's wanting to get the best. A nice pass to Burani, and Cabrera could have put it back up. Llorente. Actually, Cora, here's a player that we haven't seen. She played a lot of minutes last year.
See, if Llorente wants to be that, again, the player that people think she could be, that's an open mid-range look, or even a 3, you're right. Why do you want to stick it on the floor and go nowhere? All he did was take it to the defense. And, yep, she drew a foul. She's on the free throw line, fine. I think she has a lot of development to do. She's got a good athletic body. She's got lots of upsides. And she's in she's in a tough league in Spain.
So she rattles in the free throw. Tour races down the court, gives it to Cora. Chilar and Cabrera, and that'll be it. So Christian Santander goes to congratulate Memnun. Turkish coaches, players, but no doubt about it, Turkey superior. And a lot of work to do now for Argentina to get back up after a game like that.
And in the end, the stats are bad, but they're not as horrendous as they were after 3. They've got themselves a little bit more respectable, but 38 points at those sort of percentages. Not a great night at the office for Turkey, and I'm as worried as we've said. For Argentina. I'm as worried as we've said. Are they going to be able to pick themselves up after that, especially as they're going to likelihood face another power at the game, and probably France. I think another mauling might really damage their chances to get that 5th place. They've got to come out, regardless of who they're playing, regardless of the result, they've got to perform. If they perform, then they might have a chance, but those numbers aren't going to get it done at any level, let alone at this level. But Turkey, for me, underline what we thought they were going to be: efficient, effective, and they have a superstar.
And, you know, 66 points isn't a lot, although they did kind of, I think in the 4th quarter, ease up a little bit. I think they could have gotten 80 easily.
But they don't rack it up on you, do they? They don't take cheap ones. They don't just like run down there and get it. There's always something to work for. That's their style, and they did it again. They put an efficient performance out.
Well, one more to go. Thanks for watching that one. 66-38, Turkey winning against Argentina. And France now coming up against New Zealand. Be sure to stick around for the next one. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.